Hi and welcome to the tutorial for my birthday busy book. This is a busy book tool that's intended for educators and also for therapists who are working with preschool through early elementary age students on their birthdays. So I know in the past when I've had students come in on their birthdays, I've always wanted to have something special for them to do that day, but I know that as educators we're always struggling with how do I target their goals on this day too, right? So here's my solution to that problem that I'm sure you have encountered yourself. And this is going to be something that they have so much fun with and is going to be very memorable for them. But it's going to give you so many opportunities to target things like answering and asking WH questions, as well as inferencing skills and building vocabulary. And because it's a boom card deck, which is just fantastic, you're going to get to assign this for homework for the students, and they take it home on their birthday or later in the day, and they get to do what you did in the session or in class today, right, with their parents, and they're going to be confident in what they're doing, and this book is so personalized to them that they're going to be really motivated to share it, okay? So here we have the first page. It says, happy, happy birthday. We have an airplane that is flying through the sky, and you can just personalize it in this typable box. So you write in any message that you want. I'd recommend doing this before your student gets to the session. So you could be using this during teletherapy, or maybe you do online English teaching, or you're using this in the classroom on the computer or tablet or smartboard, whatever you're using it on. So you can type it beforehand, and your student's going to be so excited to see their name in here. Now when you get to these parts right here, this is for the date, and this is for their name, and this is for their age, so you can use that as your first opportunity to be answering WH questions. What's the date today? What's your name? How do you spell your name? How old are you today? Okay, so these are working on answering personal questions or looking up things like the date, right? How do we figure that out? Okay, so here we have down at the bottom our navigation, and to click or to get to the next page, you click here, and you just simply go to the next page. So here we have the weather on your birthday is. Now we are actually going to be looking out into the real world and seeing what is the weather like on my birthday today. Now here you can be working on naming weather vocabulary, and your student can be making that real association between these clip art pictures and the weather outside in the sky. Okay, so today it was a little bit breezy, it was very hot. It was not cloudy. So on my birthday, I would say that it was a sunny day with a breeze, thankfully, right? Now, depending on the age of your student, they may not be able to type these words or sentences. They might be a lot younger, and that's okay. You simply have them answer the question and you type it in for them. So you are just modeling the words. You are just showing them that you are truly listening to them and writing down what they say. That's going to make them feel great on their birthday, right? Okay, here we have some friends. We have our animal friends who have shown up for our birthday. Some friends are here. Hooray! These are just nice short sentences that are going to be super easy for your kids to imitate or to read if they're early readers. And if you are an occupational therapist or CODA and you're working on things like clicking or tapping, or touching, I've built in the words like this so that when you tap on them, they're going to circle them and mark them. Now you can also use this in speech therapy, maybe to, slow the rate of your speaker or to make sure that they say every single word. I know I've had some students who, when they read, they leave out words or they leave out final letters, and this is a good way for them to just slow it down and really make sure that they've said everything in the word, right? So we are going to click on to the next page. And it says, today we celebrate, but before you can open your gifts, we all want to know ... So we have some mystery. Once again, I'll point out that you can click on all of these words. It took me a lot of time to put that in there, so I just want you to be aware of that feature if you want to use it. So they want to know things about your student, and your student is going to love talking about themselves. Now on the left-hand page, I have given you kind of a picture library of some suggestions that might be foods that your student likes, okay? They do not have to choose one of these items for their favorite food, but this is just a nice visual for your younger students who, when you ask them the foods that they like, they may not have all these foods in mind without seeing them, okay? And you can also be working on labeling these items in case they don't know them, right? They're also conversation starters. So if you say you like, burgers, well, where do you like to get burgers from? Or what do you like to have on your burgers, Or if your student says that they don't like one of these things, you can ask them, follow-up questions as to why or why not they like them or don't like them, right? So over here we have my favorite. I like blank. This is going to be the typable box. And if you have an older student who is ready to explain why they like something, you can use this box down here, but don't feel like you have to use it if you have a younger student who's not ready for that, okay? So if you're using it with an older student who is working on using the conjunction because or describing things with adjectives, like let's pick the French fries. I like French fries as my favorite food, we might say, and we can think about, they're salty. What else? They are maybe crunchy. I don't know. I'm just kind of making it up, right? But you can go ahead and describe them with your student and make a list of descriptive words and then come up with your own sentence together that makes sense, okay? So here we have the next page, the animals that you like. So now we're working on the same task, right? But now it's going to be animal vocabulary. And you can even throw in things like, what do they say or where do they live, right? And then, of course, why do you like them? So next one is the things that you like to do. So these are all things that your students should be fairly familiar with and have experience with. And if there's something over here that is not their favorite, then you can brainstorm it over here and then type it up in this box. If you're using this during teletherapy or like an online English lesson, you can even use an annotation tool and maybe draw a picture of what you like or type it in, right? It's very flexible. Okay, so here we are. We are at the presents. Oh, actually, this is out of order, so you guys will have to excuse this. This is the page you should see. So we have the walrus, and the walrus says, now let's open some presents. So you notice that the words are clickable. I've already pointed that out. But behind just two of these words, we have a glittery gold background, and that is because these are kind of the content words. So I've done this so that after your great session or class that day, or today, right? When your student goes home, they can read this to their parents and, they can focus on these keywords instead of the whole sentence if they're not ready for it. So open presents, that's kind of the idea of this page, right? These are important words, but not the most important words. So that's why I've highlighted these two right there. So here we have the lion has a gift. Oh, actually, I'm going to go back. You guys will have to bear with me. Okay, so we have the giraffe and they have a present, and we have this repetitive phrase. So we have a forward phrase, giraffe has a gift. The animal has the glittery gold background. And then we have, what is it? A very simple 3-word question that your student can say each time as they go through this book. It's building that confidence. That repetition is going to make it so that your student is just confident in what they're doing as they're reading, okay? So you can either just slide this open and follow that direction, or you can listen to the clues and work on some inferencing skills. This is much funner. So let's go ahead and do this.
Clue number 1. This animal looks like a horse.
Okay, this animal looks like a horse. Okay, what animals look like horses? So you see over here we have, I think it is, so you can use this after you've heard all 3 clues, or you can use it after each one and modify it as you go. And that kind of visually models like your thought process for your student. So I think it is, maybe it's a zebra. What do you think? Are you thinking a zebra? Let's listen to clue number 2.
Clue number 2. It has a horn on top of its head.
It has a horn on its head. Zebras do not have horns on their heads, right? If I was using this for teletherapy, I might even pull up another tab and open up a picture of a zebra and see like, nope, there's no horn on their head. Maybe it's a rhinoceros. Let's say a rhino. Maybe it's a rhino.
Clue number 3. This animal is magical.
This animal is magical, and it looks like a horse, and it has a horn on its head. We know it is what is it? It's a unicorn. Okay, so then you can open up the present, right? And sometimes with things like this, I only uncover like a little portion of it. Just to kind of tease the kid a little bit and get them more curious, right, and get them more guessing. And then finally, when you uncover it, they're even more excited, right? And another thing I'll point out is when you're doing this with them, when they go home later to use this with their parents, they're going to be so excited because their parents aren't going to know. But you know who knows what it is? They do, right? So they're going to be excited. Okay, so it's a unicorn. So we'll move on to the next page. Remember, this is going to be in a different order, so just forget about this, that it's here. Okay, it was a mistake. Okay, so here we have the lion, and let's go ahead and just hear the clues for this, and then I will wrap this up so that you can go and get it yourself and see everything that's inside of it. So clue number one.
Clue number one. This is something you can ride on.
Something you can ride on. Is it a vehicle? Is it an animal? I don't know. Let's say it's I'm going to say it's a horse. Okay, maybe I'm thinking horse because we just did the unicorn.
Clue number two. It has 3 wheels.
Uh-oh, does a horse have 3 wheels? No, it does not. What has 3 wheels? I don't know. I'm kind of stumped. I'm going to listen to clue number 3.
Clue number 3. It has pedals to make it go.
It has pedals to make it go. So at this point, we could say it's a bike. They may not know the word tricycle, or they may know it, right? But you can say, oh, it might be a tricycle, right? Another thing I'll point out is that you can use this as like a way to get your student to initiate that they need to hear something again, right? They need to hear it one more time, and then they can specify which clue they need to hear, as a repetition. And that's a good skill to have, especially for school, when you've missed something or need the details repeated. So let's go ahead and reveal it. We're going to slide it open. It is a tricycle. Once you see the present, you can even ask them, like, is this something that you would like? And for your younger students, maybe it's the goal is to get to the tricycle, but maybe if you're working with an older student, they're already on to a bicycle, right? And you can just use that opportunity to have a little conversation about this item, and even like what they want for their birthday, what they're hoping for, right? So this is the whole tool. And like I said, you can use this whether you are a speech therapist, an occupational therapist, a classroom teacher, a teacher who does, online English teaching or tutoring, or even a parent, right? So this is just going to be super fun for your students, and you can use it with every single one of them, and it's going to be something memorable and special for them, but really functional for you. And I hope it is just a really useful tool in your toolbox. So you can find this on Play Learn Talk at Boom Learning, and I will put a link below. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me and let me know that you have watched this tutorial and still have some more questions. So, okay, I will see